Merhabalar, ben Şükrü. P2P'nin bu bölümünde Paco de la India ile birlikteyiz. Paco'nun arkadaşı Paco'ya Bitcoin standardı kitabını veriyor. Paco kitabı 3 günde bitiriyor ve 400 günde 40 ülkeyi Bitcoin kullanarak gezmeyle ilgili planını oluşturuyor. Paco'dan işte bu süreç boyunca yaşadıklarını dinleyeceğiz. Umarım bu bölüm hoşunuza gidecektir. Hi Paco.
Hi, brother.
Oh man, how are you since the last time we met each other?
I'm all good, man. Yeah, when did we meet? We met in November. It's been
November.
4 months now. November, December, January, February. Yeah.
Oh
How's
man,
everything
when
with
you
you?
say it like that, I realize how fast the time flies.
I know.
Yeah,
It's been crazy, and like ever since we met, the Bitcoin price has just been going up. So
yeah,
that's good.
yeah. Stars aligned. But I think it also has something to do with Yellow's prophecy.
Ooh, what's that?
The ICO
What is
founder had a prophecy. Like
okay?
he did like Twitter Spaces for 1 year straight with the song
Uh,
"Don't Stop Believing." And
uh-huh.
yeah, his prophecy was at the yeah in after a year passes, the prices will start going up or something. It was a joke, not like anything
But it worked.
serious, but yeah, it
It is.
worked. It worked.
This is so good, man. All right, so then
Yeah,
don't stop believing.
yeah, it's funny. He like it's like he's still doing them. It's been like over I don't know maybe 400 days now, like similar
Okay.
to your goal.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Imagine like being on Twitter Spaces every day for the last 400 days, singing "Don't Stop Believing" and all that stuff.
All right, I like this, man. And I would say don't stop running. Don't stop
Yeah,
running to your.
running is pretty popular in Bitcoin actually, since the first tweet that was about Bitcoin was Hall Finney's running Bitcoin tweet. I
Mm-hmm.
think your running is kind of different than Hall's, but what's the story behind it?
Oh man, hi everybody. My name is Paco. I'm from India, so namaste. I it was August 21, and my friend had gifted me a book called The Bitcoin Standard. And before gifting me the book, he told me like you have to travel the world around the world using Bitcoin. And I was like, I do not know what Bitcoin is. He's like, read this book and come to me. I
Yeah.
read that book in 3 days and I went to him and I was like, wow, this is eye opener, man. Um, so he was like, what do you want to do with this now? What are you going to call your project? And I was like, I love running.
Yeah.
And I did not know about Hal Finney back then. So I was like, all right, running. So let's run with Bitcoin. And we just came up with the idea, run with Bitcoin, and we
Yeah.
just started. So the plan was to travel to 40 countries in 400 days using only Bitcoin, make videos about Bitcoin adoption and mass awareness, host Bitcoin
Mhm.
meetups.
Yeah.
So this is how the journey started in September 2021. And now currently I am in India. In about 10 days, I will be heading off to Brazil to finish off the remaining 15 countries of the journey.
Yeah. So you already completed like 25 countries, huh?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Oh man, it's crazy. And you've been to like most of the countries you visited were in Africa,
yes,
and
that's correct.
you've been to some very remote places as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure you also have your YouTube channel, like which talks about some of your interesting yeah, some of the interesting things that happen, like the bus accident or running out of Bitcoin or money or some stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, would you like to talk about some of them? Like some
I
interesting experiences you had?
I would definitely. I have like one in every country. In fact, everywhere you know there is Satoshi helping you or guiding you
Yeah.
numerically. I haven't met any Satoshi Nakamoto, please. I just
No?
want to say this on record. But I really understood like we all are wanting hyper Bitcoinization, and we are almost 20 years away from this.
Hmm.
One of my stories that comes to my mind was this was DR Congo, and I had $100 bill with me,
You did what?
and I was in DR
$100
Congo.
bill.
Yeah, yeah, and I had $100 bill, and I went to convert my $100 bill, and the person said no.
Hmm.
we don't want your dollar. And I was like, why? He's like, this is printed in 2013. We do
Uh-huh.
not accept 2013 printed notes. We just accept 2017 and above. And I was like, oh
Interesting.
my God, your money has an expiry date. And how is this possible? Like, come on, this is a dollar, man. It's a dollar. He was like, I will accept your dollar. Go try somewhere else. But then I had another 2017, so he accepted that. So
Good.
that was one experience for me where I understood like how Bitcoin is not getting expired. It is Bitcoin
Mhm.
is Bitcoin. One BTC is one BTC.
Yeah, they want
Um,
the freshly printed version, I guess, huh? You know,
yeah.
actually, a friend of mine had a very interesting story. So, he had like a banking account and he had dollars in the bank, and the bank was giving some interest and blah, blah, blah. But this other bank was giving better interest rate. So, he took the money in cash and went to the other bank, and the other bank rejected two of the bills. And they said something like, well, there is like oil markings on this or something. So it was like that money came from Iraq or somewhere that
Uh-huh, uh-huh,
be like sanctioned or whatever. So they rejected it. And it's crazy
uh-huh,
because he took the money from a bank and gave it to another one, like, and yeah, they didn't accept it. So he went back to the first bank and said, well, they don't accept my money, so you need to give me new ones. And they were like, okay, you need to go to the Grand Bazaar and try to change it. We don't want to deal with this. But then he's like, okay, but you gave me the money, blah blah blah. So at the end, the bank manager gave him two fresh bills and all that stuff.
uh-huh.
But it's crazy. Like, we normally we would think dollar is fungible, but
Hmm.
I guess it's
Hmm.
not that fungible.
We should make an NFT.
Yeah. Or the-
My
oh,
God, man. Yeah.
yeah.
So I just feel like another experience for me was in South Sudan where they were checking my bags and they found a drone and my camera and they
Mm-hmm.
asked me like, do you have the permission? And I was like, no, I don't have the permission. He was like, you have to pay like $200. I was like, I don't have that much money. He was like, let's check your bags. They checked all my bags. They did not find the cash. They stripped me. I was naked, standing in front of the South Sudanese guy.
Oh man.
And he's like, he didn't see any money. He thought like I'm hiding it there, so he didn't find any money. And then he let me
Obviously,
go.
they didn't do cavity searches.
Yeah, they did not go to my phone to look for it. So I
Or
was just very
no
happy.
cavity searches.
No, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, good.
No, it was not that much. They were very simple. They were like, we want money. You are
Yeah,
hiding the money. I was like, I have no money.
yeah.
Apparently, they checked all my bags, they checked everything, they found nothing, and they let me go. And that's when I understood like Bitcoin is unconfiscatable.
Mm-hmm.
It is there with you. If you know it, you know it. If you don't know it, they don't know it. Simple
Yeah.
as that. And this is one of the features that I understood. And all around Africa, the 18 countries that I went around Africa, I was able to convert my Bitcoin to fiat. That means it is the acceptability of this is there all around the
Mhm.
world. Bitcoin is money, is accepted around the world.
Question, did you convert it with a premium at some places, or was it always
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
yeah?
yeah. Dude, I used to always get a premium. I'll tell you, Ethiopia was 100% premium. Malawi was going at that time of 25% premium. Nigeria was 100% premium. Most of the countries were 20, 40, 50% premium. Most of the
Yeah,
countries.
yeah.
Like that means if the market rate is going, let's say $20,000, I was selling it for 22,
Mm-hmm,
24,
mm-hmm.
26.
Good.
And the problem was just because the what the issue was, the bank to the dollar rate was
Mm-hmm.
not the correct rate. The black market rate was always there.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you're aware of this, right?
Yes, that you check it like you check the bank rate, but then when you check the black market rate, it's
Yeah.
totally different. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like ridiculous. Like that's the problem in Nigeria also right now. It's really, really bad in Nigeria. Like 200 million people.
Yeah, I mean, I saw recently that people were attacking ATM machines and all that stuff in UK because
That's Like
The government limited how much money you can withdraw a day, and yeah, it's
it's an attack on the sovereignty of a human at the end of the day. You're wanting to push your CBDC, that's the e-Naira, which is built on a Ubuntu blockchain that
mhm,
is run by 6 servers around the world, and they call it decentralized. Nonsense. And second, you have stopped the second they stopped the withdrawal of the money. And third, they changed the color of the money. That means the old Naira is not
yeah,
acceptable. So you're just practically taking the freedom of a human. And like,
yeah,
then what will the man do? He'll come down on the streets with guns. If you take away the man's freedom, what does a man do then?
yeah, yeah. I mean,
And it's
even if
happening.
you have money saved as cash, which is a bad
Mm,
practice for
mm,
Naira because it loses value, you know,
mhm,
you had to go to the bank and get it changed with the new ones, and that also has a limit, I guess.
mm.
So yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Everything has a limit, and this is just like the same thing all around Africa. What
yeah,
has happened is the Chinese loans have to be resettled.
oh yeah,
The Chinese debts have started to be resettling, and the only way they can resettle is just by printing new money.
yeah, yeah, true.
Yeah.
Oh man, Chinese have a lot of investments all over Africa, by the way.
Oh
So
yeah,
it'll be
they
true
own
for
Africa.
every other country in a way. So they'll have to
Yeah,
print money and dilute people's savings, and
yeah.
yeah,
They have to keep doing it. If they don't do that, then they default. And when
yeah.
they default, this what do you do when somebody defaults? You become United States of America, $31 trillion.
But I mean, nobody knows that United States of America is defaulted. So
Oh yeah, they are America.
you know. So what will you do in Brazil? Will you go to the Praia, Bitcoin Beach
Yes.
Praia? Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks to Mike Peterson from El Salvador, and thanks to Fernando for getting me this ticket to come down there. Really grateful. So we'll be attending their first conference. They want to may spread awareness. So
Mm-hmm.
flying down there for the conference. And after the conference, I would be in Brazil for a month, and so I'll be hosting Bitcoin meetups and going
Yeah.
down to the other places. And from there, I will move over into Costa Rica for something happening there, Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua,
Oh
the
yeah.
Caribbean islands. The Caribbean islands, we do not hear much about them. The cost of living would be also high down there. I just do not know what are people thinking down there. Just gonna like drop down to that part of the world and just make videos, host Bitcoin meetups. The plan is to host at least 50 Bitcoin meetups this year
Yeah.
with random people and just spread the awareness and orange pill people as I move forward. So the
Yeah.
LATAM region, the Latin America, I'm calling it the Lightning Americas because this time it will be purely on Lightning Network. So yeah, let's see how that goes.
Yeah, like I think that will be a fun adventure. Like the Latin America is definitely a lot of fun, and there's good adoption there. Started with El Salvador, obviously, but other places are joining as well.
Mhm.
But so you were also at Bitcoin Ekasi in South Africa,
Yes,
yeah?
yes. So
And
that place is a total eye opener for any human. You are
yeah,
practically in the slums of Africa. So when the apartheid happened, that is the blacks and the whites.
mm-hmm,
The blacks were all cornered and put to one area.
mm-hmm.
That's why they call them the Ikasi. Ikasi means a township.
What,
And the
what
whites,
what do they call it?
Ikasi.
Ah,
Bitcoin
Ekasi.
Ikasi.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Ikasi means township. Township is the place, a congregation of all the black people they will kept
Mm-hmm,
together
mm-hmm.
far away. And the whites used to have the huge houses and all. But then just to go down to a township and to use Bitcoin to buy a Coca-Cola, buy a Doritos, buy a banana, a peach for your day-to-day activities. Get a haircut. I got a haircut done down there
Yeah,
and by paying with
nice.
Bitcoin. So it was really
Yeah,
nice
you
and
had
it was really,
longer hair last time I
yeah,
saw.
I had like really long hair. So it was really nice and I was really happy to see how they receive Bitcoin through donations from abroad, and
Mm-hmm.
that same money is used here to buy goods and services.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
this is how the money now moves. Now, basically, the most common man in South Africa has access to financial privileges, which just a regular white man has.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very big step towards, like, I'm really excited for this, because every time we just think about how to make more money, but this is all about how do you share this wealth with the
Yeah.
upcoming
Or
generation.
how do people use money in places like that? It's a totally different topic because when we think of South Africa, we think of Cape Town and kind of how it's developed, but it's so much bigger than that as a country.
Very
And
big.
yeah,
Yeah, true. It's very big. It's very big, and it has its own history, own problems. There's a saying that 40% of the world's gold reserves were came from Johannesburg,
yeah,
and that rich the country was. This was the same country that has the biggest, most electricity they had back in those days.
yeah.
But now this is the same country that has power load shedding, that is power cuts of 8 to 10 hours per day.
I know.
And
I heard about it too. It was interesting.
bad, eh? It's
Yeah,
really bad. It's really bad. Like ever you want to do something, you're just like, let me just check whether there's load shedding. Should
yeah.
I go out on a date? Let me check if it's load shedding there.
I mean, maybe it could be okay for a date. You can have a candlelight and
Yeah, but
but
then
yeah, I
the
talk to Lutando
yeah.
nearly every week, the head coach. You
Uh,
probably know
yeah,
him personally. Yeah.
yes, yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah,
really like what's happening over there. It's pretty cool. Yeah,
yeah, man.
I also invited you to Turkey like a year ago or something, but you're like, we need a visa for Turkey and
Yes. So I have to tell you something great is I just got my US visa last week. So
perfect.
now I can come down to Turkey. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it's
do this. So
easier to take a
yes.
Turkish visa after you have the US visa, I guess,
No,
huh?
it's on arrival. I don't have to do anything now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I can just like drop down. So basically anytime now around the world. So what I will try to do, I'm gonna do when my trip of this LATAM region is finishing off, I will finish it off in the last country being Turkey.
Yeah,
And I'll be there for then we'll host a couple of meetups down there, meet the community,
perfect.
and we'll explore a little bit of beautiful Turkey. I've heard you have some beautiful, yeah, I haven't been much, so no idea. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
We'll be fine. We also have our own meetup, so of course you could make a
Yes,
speech
please.
there because
Yes, yes, that'd be an
we
honor.
host one every month together with like with a presentation. So somebody presents, and we always have guests from the rest of the world, and it's pretty cool. You
That'd be
know,
nice, man. That'd be nice. Yes, please.
I'll tell you something funny. So I like American movies.
Ah, okay.
Like yeah, I like Bollywood actually. It's not yeah.
Okay.
I love watching those movies. And the other day I watched the movie RRR.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard of it, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
interesting. Like,
Yeah.
but my favorite American movie is like the PK.
Peak.
So this guy comes from outer
Yeah,
space to the world and lands in India,
yeah,
and he has a device to call his ship.
yeah.
And yeah, his device gets stolen like in the first couple of minutes of his arrival. So the
Correct.
whole movie, he is looking for his device, and everybody
Yes.
says, God knows where it is. So this guy starts on his journey and he's like going around India and trying to find where God is so he could ask God where his device is.
Yeah,
And at some point, he sees these gurus that claim to be like godlike or that have
yeah.
connections to the God, and he debunks them all and all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
So you kind of remind me of him in a way. You are the version of him that's like, what is Bitcoin? Like, or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's what you are trying to figure out all around the world, and you probably get so many different answers, and yeah,
Yes. It's
and
a very well put, bro. Nobody's told me this, but that is so apt because it is something that I wanted to share with the world that Bitcoin is money. But how do you know if Bitcoin is money if it is
yeah,
not used by one constant all around the world to have it be there?
I think you'll end up debunking some gurus about money or something eventually, just like he did in the movie PK.
Peter Schiff. I'm gonna meet Peter fucking
Yeah,
Schiff.
yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna put gold. I'm gonna go put gold in his glass of water. I'm like Drake.
Or just get him some Goldschlager or something.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, this is your gold, man.
Yeah, drink it. Yeah,
Yeah.
funny. Mine, that
Nice.
would be a kind of cool short movie to watch. Like you searching for what is money and like going to
Mm.
the gold box to debunk their theories, going to people who call
Mm.
it's terrorism
That's
when
very
something. Would
that's a good idea.
be fun, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know, you remind me of him. I hope this is not very stereotypical.
No, it's perfect. It's fine. I'm gonna do like this to you. All is well.
Oh man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So I don't know. So what's like the place that, by the way, surprised you the most as adoption goes?
Definitely Kenya was the worst place because I went to Kenya and I was with the racist vibes,
Hmm.
and I was just like, yeah, what is Kenya? This is Africa. But Kenya surprised the hell out of me. You could buy a book on Bitcoin, bookstore.
Yeah.
You can go for a massage with Bitcoin, pay for your Masai Mara, the game drive with
Hmm.
Bitcoin, a bar accepting Bitcoin, restaurant, cafes accepting Bitcoin, and the community. So what I saw in Nairobi was Nairobi is practically the Singapore of 90s. It was
Hmm.
very hustling, bustling. You had that safety vibe, and they were just going at it. Because the currency is also very strong. They
Hmm.
haven't been devalued that much, so that's why they were very, very, very strong. So this was one place, and then eventually, by the time I reached South Africa, I
Uh-huh.
was just seeing like South Africa has the the richest country in in
In
Africa or
Africa.
the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say
Hmm.
like they have generational wealth
Hmm.
and we need wealth for Bitcoin adoption
Yeah. Yeah.
because an average man around Africa, for that matter, I went to Central Africa Republic, which claims to have Bitcoin as their legal tender. It's been almost a year now. What have you heard? Nothing.
I think. Yeah.
And they don't have any Bitcoin adoption down there. And for me, it was more like, hey, this is just like another marketing gimmick, but who has access to this? They don't have
Yeah.
roads, they don't have electricity. Who has access to all of this? The rich people.
Of course.
So South Africa would be I think so South Africa along with Nigeria and Kenya would spearhead the adoption of, even if not Bitcoin, it will be USDT. Let me just
Yeah.
put it out there.
Yeah.
Bitcoin is just a synonym to all the other coins they use.
Yeah, true. But I think it shifts over time. Like, during bear markets, it could be more USDT because people want
Mhm.
to kind of stabilize things. But yeah, during the bull markets, Bitcoin usage will increase because,
Correct.
and until the
Yeah.
next bear market, if we have a new one and all that stuff. So there will be
Yeah.
oscillations there.
We really hope the bull market benefits El Salvador because Guatemala is just next door. So
Oh,
if,
yeah.
if El Salvador gets like that 5x, 6x returns on Bitcoin, it would be very positive for further
Mhm.
Bitcoin adoption in the region.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like, how do you find places to spend Bitcoin? Like right now, there's this BTCMap.org and life is
Mm.
a little more easier. But yeah.
Yes, a little bit. Like it's now it's like they have stars, but yeah, anyway. So I generally use the local Telegram groups to find the local community.
Mhm.
And in the local community, I share my journey and I reach out to people. I'm like, hey, I'm here. Do you know any places that accept Bitcoin?
Mhm.
So what happens is majorly, I would say 90% of the time, the places haven't accepted Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
hearing my story, they come down and they are ready to accept Bitcoin. And
Mhm.
because people are ready to try for 10, 20, $30, it doesn't hurt
Yeah.
them. So anything big, if you want to do like my Kilimanjaro hike, I took me fucking 2 hours to talk to that guy.
Yeah.
And the deal was also big, but he did not want to keep any Bitcoin with him. He just wanted cash. So I had
Yeah.
to connect him to a P2P trader and then he just worked out.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
good.
the way I do it. That's
Did
the
you
way I
ever
do it
get
because
scammed, by the way?
I haven't yet gotten scammed so far. So far,
Really?
no, man. So
That's
far, no.
that's pretty good actually.
Yeah, I feel like
I
that's so
tried
good. Like,
P2P once. I had to do something and I got scammed by, like
what
P2P
happened?
with I never received the Visa card or whatever. So
Oh my God, it was a gift card you were buying.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh shit. And then?
Yeah, but nothing happened, but it wasn't like a big one, so it's okay.
Oh my God.
I mean,
The gift card
P2P
is
yeah,
go on, go on.
yeah. It was like I had to find a gift card, and I didn't even go for the ones that had really high premiums because I thought they could be scammy, But
Uh-huh.
I ended up getting scammed at the end.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I just
Oh my
ended up
God.
writing a bad review, and that's all I got out of it.
Jesus Lord. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't use much of the platforms. I do it basically face to face with person,
yeah,
and that is much more safer also, and it builds the rapport also because if I meet you when I come down to Turkey and I meet you, you will connect me to the local community
of
also.
course.
So
Yeah.
that's how I move forward. Yeah,
That's the best way. But for this case, I didn't have a lot of options, and
I
well,
understand.
yeah.
But now
But
you have there's a you can buy your Visa card on the Bitcoin company. There's an application.
yes, I know. I know
Yeah,
a Bitcoin person and bank
a
are.
Bitcoin person.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
yes,
They're
yes.
pretty cool, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's pretty awesome.
How did you, by the way,
Yeah.
how many people do you think you orange pilled, or how many people you talked into accepting Bitcoin for the first time?
Oh my God, I would have crossed 1,000 plus people for
Yeah,
sure, for sure. For sure. Like, because what started happening was during the meetups, I used to tell people like, hey, open your Bitcoin wallet. And I used to end up giving them like half a dollar, half
yeah,
a dollar, a dollar. And that way people just used to get Bitcoin from me. And then I used to show them how to use Bitrefill
yeah,
and how to convert the magic internet money to the real money. So it was like 1,000 plus for sure over this period of time. That would have been there.
yeah. That's amazing, and like that's the best way to teach someone is to make them use. I always say that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a feeling. Bitcoin is a feeling, and you have to feel the entire process, either through education or through receiving and
Mhm.
sending peer to peer.
And like once you have that feeling, it's so empowering that you are like, okay, I don't depend on any other third party or anything, basically. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
thanks
that's the
for
best thing.
orange pilling many people. Uh,
No, thanks to so I would like I do not know if we started this, but I would really start by saying is like thank you to the Bitcoin community who really supported this because everything has been crowdfunded and this entire journey wouldn't have been possible without you Bitcoiners. Like you guys opened your house, opened your hearts. Some shared love, some shared sats. So it's all together. We have made it. We have proven the fact like it's a very strong community. And
mhm,
yes, Bitcoin is money. This
yeah.
has been proven. Like if you can use Bitcoin in Africa, in remote places, for that matter, to yeah, I know you need fiat in today's world because of the usability of fiat and the acceptability of fiat. But in that moving terms forward, Bitcoin could replace your foreign exchange reserve, that is the US dollar,
Mhm.
which so that's what is proven thanks to the Bitcoin community. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's amazing to hear, basically. You are a walking example of that Bitcoin works everywhere around the world. And yeah, keep running and
Thanks, man.
experimenting, and hopefully you'll end up in Turkey at the end
Yes,
of the
yes.
trip.
Yes, yes, yeah. I would do that. I'll end up to Turkey, and then from Turkey I will head back to India. That should do that. That will be my plan. Because
Yeah.
I am been hearing a lot about Turkey. How was the scene there? Like last 6 months ago, it was like chaos. Your currency was depreciating. Then what happened now?
Mm, I mean, I think it still depreciates, but it doesn't look like it depreciates. So
What do you mean?
I mean, I they somehow balance it by selling reserves, I guess, or something, So it's kind of stabilized right now. And
Mm-hmm.
also the dollar index is going down, the DXY is going down, so it's kind of stable-ish against
Yeah.
the dollar, but not as much as against the euro or yeah, others.
Oh, interesting. Eh?
We learn to live yeah, with this depreciating currency, I guess. So
Yeah, it is not that bad as Africa though. In some countries, it is
uh,
very like it is so ridiculous in some countries, and that's where you understand the disparity where the poor keeps getting poorer.
I mean,
It's so
so
bad.
what I found to happen actually, like the volatility is the worst. like if it's constantly and slowly depreciating, people can manage that. But when there's like highs and lows, then people don't know how to act, how to price things, and that part
Hmm.
becomes
Same like Bitcoin.
yeah, yeah.
Like again, it's
Bitcoin is
going
a
down.
baby and it's growing, and the other one is just the fiat currencies are just on their deathbed or something, in my opinion. So
Yeah, that is true. That I've seen that like fiat currency will slowly because CBDCs have started being rolling out. So another 10 years from now, you would see like fiat would be a least used thing. And they
yeah.
would say fiat has coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
They will call that fiat has coronavirus.
It's funny though, if you think about it, like what Bitcoin is 14 years old, or you
Uh-huh.
know, yeah, think of a 14-year-old. It's volatile. Like things change for him every day, like the way he sees things. Bitcoin is like that, and think of fiat. Fiat to me feels like 80 years old something, and it's also volatile because you wake up with a yeah different
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
problem every day, and yeah.
yeah,
So
that's so true. That is so true. Yeah, yeah, everything is volatile, I think. So nothing is stagnant unless you're married. And
yeah.
that's the only thing that's stable in your life.
Hmm. It's amazing talking to you. Do you have any
Yes.
final words, by the way? That
I would just really say like Mark Twain, he has said it beautifully. If you don't follow news, you are uninformed. But
hmm
if you follow news, you are misinformed. There's a lot of noise in the market. Do your own research, zoom out and see if Bitcoin doesn't exist, none of this will exist.
yeah,
So do your research and hodl.
man, that's a strong finish.
Yeah. Nice, man.
Okay. So yeah, see you in some part of the world, I guess. And
Yes, definitely.
yeah, hope to keep in touch.
Yeah, yeah, man. Thank you so much, my man. It was so good to see you after
Yeah,
such a long
see
time.
you. Okay, yeah,
Chat.
take
Bye.
care. Bye. Paco ile olan bu bölümün sonuna geldik. Ya umarım renkli bir karakter olan Paco'yu sizler de sevmişsinizdir. Bu bölümü podcast olarak dinleyebilirsiniz. Aynı zamanda da YouTube üzerinden video olarak izleyebilirsiniz. Önümüzdeki bölümlerde görüşmek üzere.